So you're not exactly sold on the fact that knowing stuff and getting down all the facts is the way to mental and physical health. Because quite frankly, it's a very fast satisfaction that you get by knowing what you need to do to get to that point that you want to get to. Now, one thing you have to remember is that this is something that students do on a daily basis in school. They learn all the things that they're supposed to learn for their profession while they're at school. The one thing they don't prepare for, though, is the unforeseeable circumstances. And that's a common thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the nature of life. There are things that are going to come up that you just don't know and you're not ever going to be ready for. So what you need to understand is that the one thing you can never forget in any of the transitions that you're going to be making is that the big picture is what matters most. And the big picture here is that whatever you accumulate in small quantities over a long period of time, eventually it becomes abundant. So there is an end to the road. At some point, you will stop working out and you will stop having to maintain yourself. That's when you're gonna have to find something else to do. So you'll be back at square one. But don't get scared of that, because that's not where you're at right now. Right now, where you're at is a place where you need to start preparing yourself mentally for the transition that you're about to do. And the only way to do that is through study. Again, just like students, you have to kind of go through a breakdown of yourself and your environment and see what it is that's holding you down in that place. Now, let's say, for example, that you work in some, whatever you work in. Let's just say you work in an office. Your body has shaped to a person that looks and fits the description of someone that should be in that cubicle or in that office. It's either because of what you're doing or something that you're not doing. And that's okay, because ultimately you got to that point with the same type of preparation. It took you a while, and now you're ready for something else. This is the something else. This is what you've been waiting for, and this is also something that you never saw coming. So you didn't do the same preparation that you would have done for anything else for this. So you kind of get a sense that you're lost. But just know that that's actually a good thing, because you're clear. You're ready for something new. And the success in something new only comes, again, from practice and from relearning the baby steps that it's going to take for you to thrive forward. Next topic. This is going to be an analogy just so you can have an example of what it is that is coming up. You are a car, right? Let's just pretend that you're a car. And in order for a car to move and to go forward, you need fuel. And you need, obviously you need a destination. You need to know where you're going. And in order to get there, you have to create traction. And if you want to create traction, you gotta get up, you gotta do something. You can't just fuel yourself and then expect for things to happen. So I want to take away that analogy and let you understand that working out and getting your brain to function in a happy way, to be in a good state of mind while you're making this transition, you're gonna have to let go of some of the things that are holding you down. Now, some of the things that are holding you down, you may not even know they're holding you down. you've been so wrapped up in it, how are you going to be able to distinguish that? It's a hamster wheel, and you just recognize the steps, so you keep taking steps. One of the big things that's holding you down is probably your culture or your family. The biggest part of all of this is not sharing it with anyone. When you share that, or when you share that you're going to be changing, the people that are already getting something from you that they enjoy, they're not going to like it. So the minute you start to shift, they're going to notice it. And usually the way they do it to bring you back is indirectly, or you know what, they might even be doing it directly. Some people don't want to let you go. So whether if it's your mom, your friends, your family, you can't tell them. You kind of got to go into it, and once you're halfway through, they're gonna start to notice it, and they're gonna want to try to latch on. Now, I know that you love these people, and they've been there for you many times before, and that's okay. You're gonna feel like it's not their place to be left behind, but they haven't been helping you. And they haven't been pushing you forward. Not only that, but they haven't been pushing themselves forward. So if someone is holding you back, the only thing that you can do is move on and hope that they follow. If they don't want to follow, that's fine. But again, don't let them hold you back. Don't tether yourself to their mistakes. Unfortunately for them, they're going to have to start making some decisions of their own so they can make the same shift, if they want to be there alongside with you. The worst thing you can do is try to hang on to them and bring them along with you, because eventually their mistakes become yours and yours become theirs. So then eventually you both are weighed down by each other. And it's almost like you are, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like you are, you're latched onto their failures. So you pretty much just got to leave them behind. I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but fact of the matter is, the key here is that growth takes precedence. So now let me give you a quick little example. When I was going through some changes and I realized that the alcohol from the weekends that I was having was breaking me down and preventing me from advancing. It prevented me so much that I was compelled to tell my closest friend that I was either going to sacrifice hanging out with him because the alcohol was too much for my body, or lose him as a friend if he just wouldn't listen. And he embraced the fact that I was trying to do something good for myself, and we actually helped each other in the process. He didn't go down with me on that same path, but he was willing to understand. That is a good friend. Now, without getting too much off subject, I just want to leave you with something about your weekends and the alcohol that you consume. Alcohol, once it gets into your system, your body is trying to fend it off or purge it from your body. And if you think that you're gonna have the same weekends as before to party or to do whatever it is that you love doing, you're not. And that shouldn't be scary either, because other things are gonna come to fruition once you get down this road. And they're actually really good, because you won't be sacrificing 2 days for the alcohol. Now, let's just say you don't drink a lot to the point to where you sacrifice 2 days. I just have 1 or 2. The amount of alcohol that sticks to your body, to the layers of your skin, it's ridiculous. And those 2 beers or those 3 beers every once in a while is probably the one thing that got you to where you are now, in mass quantities obviously, over a long period of time. Now the beauty about what we're doing is that eventually you're gonna get all that stuff off, but you have to start slowing it down. You have to take it a couple notches way down. And by taking it down just a couple notches, you start to build a higher tolerance, which of course then eventually then you can drink less and then you get more messed up. But that's not the point. The point is that you have to see the effect it's having on you now. One more time, let me just hammer this down, because again, if it's every weekend or every other weekend, you're gonna be struggling. It's like swimming against the current, okay? And that's never good when you're trying to advance, because it can be very discouraging. Now, I know I've said a lot, but I just want to leave you with this. Give yourself a break. Give your body a break. You don't deserve that, and it really isn't your fault. You didn't know, and that's a good excuse or a good answer for anyone else, but for me, it just doesn't cut it. Through this, you'll learn that giving yourself a break from all of the things that you enjoy actually allow you to enjoy them more. And if you're willing to make that sacrifice, the end result, it's definitely going to reflect on you, obviously, but you need to know that the damage that you've done over the course of, let's just say you're 25 or 20 or 16 or 30 or whatever, it took you those years, let's say 25 or 30 years, to get to that level. But you won't have to sacrifice another 36 or another 30 years for you to get it off. That's the beauty. The beauty is that you can do this within, I would say, about, realistically, within 5 years. And that's extensive. That's far. But 5 years goes by really quick. So just try to let that sink in for a little bit, and don't let it get you down, because it's not like you're going to be doing this for the duration of those 5 years. There's breaks in between. You do fall off the wagon, and that's okay, because again, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to tell you what it is that you're kind of going to be experiencing and the things that you should be looking for, so that way you know that you're on the right path once again. That's episode 2. Don't forget to subscribe, click your notification bell, and I'll keep them coming. I'm gonna let y'all check that out real quick, because it took me a while to get over here, and this is pretty gangster. I like this. Cheers, everyone. I'll see you next time. Peace.